Hello, this is James Hunter, and I am, as I mentioned in a video I did earlier this week, I'm doing a series where I'm going to be basically doing updates with a transformational series video as it relates to my physical fitness, body composition goals, and just performance measures. I'm 52 years old, and so what I like to do, what I have liked to do throughout my life is to have goals and just have benchmarks and things to work towards. It can be helpful to help us stay accountable, maybe step it up, if you will. Now, I have had different thresholds in my life, and I want to talk about thresholds real quick. So I'm going to show a baseline video I took this morning at the gym that shows what I look like without my t-shirt. Now, thresholds in terms of how far you allow your body to get before you start to feel uncomfortable with the situation to then intervene and start, walking it back or dialing things back, or maybe just start modifying your situation again, whether it's nutrition, exercise. For me, it's mostly nutrition, but the exercise component is significant too. I may start incorporating more running, for example, and other things. So my situation, throughout my 40s, I competed in bodybuilding and the MPC, both in the open class and then also masters. I do my age category too. So I would have those as goals to really get really lean, single digit body fat. My first video I've done in the series, you can see some of those photos I put in there. I might put up another quick one for those who didn't see the first video, but I would get at least legit 4% body fat without a question, been measured by a DEXA scan, bod pod, etc., and the skin caliper too. So I know how to get really fit in terms of just lean if I want to, when I'm motivated, have a goal. The truth is that 365 days a year, we're not going to stay that lean per se, but we don't have to still be healthy, fit, and lean to the relative population for what you can feel good about. So my situation, let me talk about my threshold. So I usually go by my waist, my stomach. If it starts getting bigger, not necessarily the scale. I go by the mirror and then where I'm carrying body fat, because like a lot of men who have a decent amount or significant amount of muscle mass proportionate to their bone structure, their frame, it can be easier to still look lean and ripped relative to other people wearing a tank top or even shorts and a tank top. Because you tend to store more body fat in your stomach, not necessarily everywhere else. So with myself, people who just see me in a t-shirt, a tank top, they're going to say, yeah, you're freaking lean, you're ripped. I can see the separation enough there in the muscle, triceps, right? Really lean. Even my shoulders and back from behind, deltoids, rhomboids, you can see the muscularity, even as they call it, the Christmas tree. You can still see some semblance of that showing, and so on. The difference is if I take my shirt off, hey, what's going on with the stomach? Yeah, because I get a bit of a pooch. I start getting more fat on my stomach, smooths out. You can't see the abs as well. Even if you suck it in, right? There's nothing you're going to do about excess body fat if you have too much of it. So the point is, it's what you feel comfortable with. And a lot of people can just get to feel comfortable too much where they do not have a threshold. They never intervene. They don't ever try to walk it back. And then before you know it, they're a bit far gone, right? They're going to need a lot of work to then do something about the situation. So my threshold has been fairly consistent. 2019, I hit that threshold. Yep, I'm getting a bit fat again. I don't feel good about it. So then I set a goal for a contest. I trained for 4 months, entered the contest, and no more stomach. I got lean. And then I would maintain a reasonable level throughout the years. I competed again when I was 50, 2 years ago. And since that competition in 2021, I'm still working out. I'm still fit compared to the average population. But as you're going to see in this video, I'm going to put up my stomach. I can pull it in, but let it hang out. You'll see, I'm carrying you can call it a beer belly if you want to. So I got one of those stomachs that some men, that's where we carry it. So my point is, we all carry fat differently and how it's distributed. So even though I got a bit of this pooch going on, to the untrained eye or just average person who sees me in a tank top at a gym getting a good pump or just walking around in like a snug shirt like this, no one's gonna see me as somebody who's fat, right? They're not, what are you talking about, James? You're not fat. So I'm going to show this video because this is a baseline video. It's also to help myself with some accountability, because I am going to put this up there and be transparent with what I look like right now, not flexing, just kind of standing there and just kind of showing my body from different angles. So this is something that I'm going to be monitoring, and let's see what happens. Perhaps over the next 8 weeks, 2 months, it'll be completely gone, right? I'll be back to having a flat stomach again. Maybe I do it in 10 weeks, 12 weeks, but for sure I'm going to do it. We'll see how quickly I expedite and make this process happen. On a side note, I want to say, because I have maintained relative to my body for what works for me, I've my bone structure, if you will, and how I carry not just fat but muscle. I have been strength training, lifting weights for 40 years, been consistent with that every year. And because I do carry a good amount of muscle relative to my body and my frame, this is why not only if I start to gain some fat, those areas where I carry more muscle, I can still appear to be ripped and have definition. Because there's people who might have less body fat than I have right now that don't look as ripped as me. And that's because they have less muscle, right? I honestly don't know what my body fat percentage is right now. I could only guess what that is. I would guess it's still within the healthy range for like the average population, but it's definitely not, where I'm typically capable of carrying throughout the year. So that being said, this idea, right, I'm bringing up the muscle. Lean muscle, by the way, lean muscle tissue is more metabolically active. And because of this, it requires more energy. So we burn more calories as a result of carrying more muscle. Point is, I got a bit of a gut and a stomach right now, but because I carry a decent amount of muscle throughout all of my body, I will be able to burn this excess body fat off, and I'm going to get rid of it quicker because I do lift weights, right? I ran a mile this morning, just 7-minute mile, get my heart rate up. So there's the other conversation about aerobic exercise and all that. Just in and of itself, it's a good idea. But diet's important. I'm going to need to adjust my diet for sure. And then along with the other things I mentioned, my muscle, the amount of muscle I carry is going to be very beneficial. If I didn't have the muscle mass that I have right now, it would be harder to lose this. So I'm creating this video series because I want to encourage everyone, for people who are in their 50s, older perhaps. It's never too late to continue to have a standard of health and fitness for yourself, to challenge yourself, hold yourself accountable in a healthy way through goals. And so whether you're someone like me who has competed in sports in his life, you don't need to be an athlete, by the way, to set some type of a goal, some type of a measure, something to help it feel more meaningful can be helpful. I will say this, I do work out. That's not the issue. I've been very consistent, been exercising. My situation right now is because of my diet, what I've been eating. I eat reasonably healthy throughout the year, but even when you're eating healthy foods, if you're consuming too many calories beyond more than what you're going to metabolize and break down for energy, you're going to be in a positive energy balance. You can gain and store weight in the form of body fat. There's a whole other conversation. Probably the carbs, right? Probably consume more than what I've been needing for my energy expenditure. So my approach is, I'll do a separate video about carb cycling, how I manage the macros, caloric range, etc. So we all carry fat differently, and what we need to lose in terms of body fat's different for everybody in terms of how you're going to achieve an impressive look of having that definition, if you want to use the word ripped, right? So someone like me, I can be 8 or 9% body fat and look very impressive and very ripped, right? For competition in the past, I've gotten as lean as that. It's like I said, 4% legit, it's been measured, DEXA scan, bod pod. You're not going to get any more accurate than those machines in terms of the technology available today. So I'm confident in saying I've been 4% body fat before. My stats, 5'8", 163 pounds or so in the morning, a bit heavier in the day, as like most people, maybe 150, 165, if you will. So I eat when I feel hungry. Sometimes I'm not hungry, I don't eat. I do time restricted fasting by default, but it's really the what I eat, all right? So it's calorie dense foods, perhaps. It's more the issue, and then the overall energy balance versus whether I'm consuming more than expending every day. These are other issues. So this video is just a baseline. It's what it is. I am, I guess you want to use the word humble enough or secure enough to show myself when I'm not at my best in terms of yeah, what I look like I'm taking my shirt off. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be doing this at the beach, like the thing I'm doing with my stomach, unless I was just trying to be funny or something. So stay tuned. I'm going to do an update video once a week of where I'm looking at with my shirt off, so we can see these transitions month to month. And yeah, who thinks I can dramatically change this in 6 weeks, 8 weeks? How long will it take? I'm not going to try to force it, but I am going to do what I know it works. I'm not going to act like I'm training for a competition, but I don't need a contest per se. I just need to be disciplined, be consistent. So what are your thoughts, right, about these ideas of a threshold? Some people maybe never thought of it that way, but I've always had one. And that's why I've never gotten really obese or too far gone, too overweight. And there are men in my family that are overweight or obese, right? So genetics by itself doesn't wake you up to exercise or work out in the morning. And it doesn't cause you to adhere to a particular way of eating. My video series will also include performance measures like box jumps. I have a goal to see how close I can get to doing a box jump up onto a 4 feet of height, right? Box. Maybe we'll see where I get there. I've done that in the past, right? But 52 is different. 52-year-olds different. I did that in my 40s, actually, and recently started doing them again to test the water. So I'm going to build up on that. How high can I still jump? Explosive power. I'm going to continue to put the demands on my body so I maintain these adaptations: agility, strength, balance, explosive power, body composition. You don't stop doing these things when you get old. It's the reverse. You get older when you stop putting demands on your body, when you stop giving your body a reason to demonstrate some agility, coordination, explosiveness, strength. The body goes backwards, right? Deconditioning, sarcopenia, etc. You get the idea. Drop some comments below if you have any opinions or thoughts on this. If you haven't seen the original video I made that started this series, I'll put a link below. So until I see y'all again, hope everybody's having a good week, and thank you for watching.